The film follows one character's journey after they've been diagnosed with cancer. So you do see the very profound effects of cancer and also the cancer treatment on the body. This includes things like, hair loss and laboured breathing, shortness of breath, as well as just the general overall weakness, lack of strength, fatigue, and just trouble that the body suffers after from the effects of cancer. So for that reason, this can be quite an emotional film, particularly if you know anybody who has died from cancer or who's suffering, currently undergoing cancer treatment. This can be quite a troubling film to watch. These days, who doesn't know somebody who has either had cancer or currently is being treated for cancer? So just be aware of that when you go into it. It does go, it doesn't get preachy or anything, or it doesn't go into the science so much of the cancer treatment, but it's just that very profound, very severe degradation and deterioration of the body that you witness. In terms of the drugs and treatments, you do see a lot of vials of medication surrounding this character, so you do get the impression that they are under a very heavy drug regime. You see an injection take place, and it's actually almost quite savage. You see the needle entering the skin in close-up, and it's quite severely jabbed into the skin. In terms of other drugs, you do see there's a discussion of illegal drugs in the film. One of the characters is a detective and is involved in a drug bust. So you see packets of white powder, which is later disclosed to be cocaine. And there is discussion throughout the film of drug-related crime and that kind of thing. In terms of the violence, there isn't really any violence in the film, a tiny little bit which is job-related for the detective. So in one scene, in this drug bust, there's an arrest, somebody is kind of knocked to the ground and somebody is slammed up against a fence. In another scene, a woman is kind of dragged along with a vehicle and then thrown from the car. A small kind of minor vehicle collision happens as a result of this. But that's really it for the violence. There certainly isn't any physical violence elsewhere in the film. The film follows a same-sex couple, so there is a sex scene between them in the film. They're both fully clothed in the bedroom. They kind of initiate sex, if you like, before the camera breaks away. They're still fully clothed, but you just see a bit of kissing and caressing and I guess rubbing and that kind of thing. There certainly isn't any nudity or genitals seen through the film. Elsewhere, the only thing that would be considered sexual is there's a bit of flirting, kind of dancing and some kissing and hand holding, hugging, that kind of thing. But no real kind of sex or nudity in the film. There's a little bit of swearing. The F word and S word is used a few times, as is the word bitch. The A word is also used. There's a little bit of mild misogyny through the film, and certainly the idea of what it is to be a female in a male-dominated industry, and also not just a female, but certainly a homosexual female, and the kind of discrimination which accompanies that. That's certainly touched on in the film once or twice. It's more of an undercurrent rather than a dominant theme. There is alcohol in the film as well. You do see beer, wine, spirits consumed, but it's only kind of very brief. It isn't, again, it's not a dominant theme in the film either. There's also a few religious exclamations and references in the film, plus one obscene finger gesture. Freeheld is directed by Peter Sollett and stars Julianne Moore, Ellen Page and Steve Carrell. And you can read my full breakdown of Freeheld at cinemum.net.